Gopinath Das, a physician here in Boulder, Colorado. I'm board certified in internal medicine and integrative holistic medicine. The Vedas inform us that this body is just not a physical structure because of its capacity to resolve imbalances and heal spontaneously to the degree we are aligned to the higher self. Modern medical science is verifying these concepts, and consciousness-based approaches are already revolutionizing healthcare. We recently concluded the audible chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra has the power to protect us against chronic disease and also improve our power of self-regulation, which is a marker of long-term wellness. This first of its kind clinical scientific study was done among healthy American volunteers who had no prior experience with mantra meditation here at the Prabhupada Research Institute for Integrative Medicine. What was this research study all about?
Yeah.
Can you explain in layman's terms?
Of course. So I had the opportunity to partake in a research study that was exploring how mantra meditation affects the body physically. And so this was sort of a way to merge the scientific with the spiritual.
And what were the procedures which were followed to measure, and what was measured?
For 6 weeks, 30 minutes a day, I spent chanting the Hare Krishna mantra using mala beads to just sort of keep me mindful during my practice and to track how long I was doing it for. And then every few weeks, I would check in, and my heart rate variance, HRV, would be monitored, which is, as I understand it, pretty much the time between heartbeats.
So this study was done, when was it done?
It was done last fall, and typically I have a hard time with transitioning seasons, and so I found that doing this research study in September or October of last year really helped me transition from fall to winter a little bit easier. Mm-hmm.
So what was your, so you had a easier time, that's good to know. And have you continued to practice this mantra meditation, and if so, why?
Yeah, so I found that not only when I was chanting, but throughout the day, throughout the week, my optimism increased, my appreciation for the little things like the leaves changing colors or the birds singing. My appreciation increased, and so even after the study, I continued with my chanting practice, and I found that using new meditation techniques allowed me to evolve my practice. Sometimes it's nice to just sit still, close your eyes, and meditate. But if you don't have time for that, sometimes you can get your meditation in when, I did it when I was out walking my dog every day. I would spend 30 minutes out in nature walking my dog, doing my chanting with my malas, and I found that to be a very grounding exercise. So I continue to do that daily. I still use my malas. I actually went and made my own because I found them to be such a powerful tool for my spiritual practice. And then I found that I sort of catered my chanting meditation to myself. So I'll spend a little bit chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, and then I'll spend some time chanting my own different affirmations. So I really found that once I was able to personalize this practice, I really benefited from it the most. But learning those tools is the first step to developing your ideal meditation practice and really getting excited to commit to it as well.
Yeah, so you think that was quite helpful in terms of transitioning during the fall months, and
Yes.
So do you think is it the sound, or it's just the practice
which
I think it's both, because I certainly noticed a difference from just repeating it in my head and then physically saying out loud and hearing myself, you know, hear those words and feel those vibrations from saying them out loud. And so I truly feel that whether the affirmations, whether, today will be a good day, just saying them out loud gives them a little bit more power, in my opinion.
thank you.
Thank you
Hey
so much.
Brian, thanks for coming over today. I just wanted to find out what was this mantra meditation study was all about. What was
From
it?
start to finish?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, from the way start, you were handing out flyers looking for people at one of our community events, and I volunteered and fulfilled the criteria, I guess, and read over the disclosures and all the things that were necessary prior to starting, and understood the commitments that I needed to make when it came to time to do my mantras and time to check in with you and figure that out. And so we initiated it with that first meeting and received my mala beads and kind of went into it and did my first chant with you, which was obviously the most difficult to kind of get down and understand. But as going through the process and even checking in, really became obviously my own mantra, and that, your own cadence. I found what was fun sometimes checking in with you was we would play off each other's cadence, and it was interesting because obviously I'm doing all the mantra by myself. And the idea behind the mantra was obviously because you were checking on my HRV, which is the heart rate variable, which from my understanding is basically my heart rate period between beats. And the idea is to utilize the mantra to really kind of set your body's tone to start to defend against everything and anything from everyday stress to illnesses and whatnot. From my understanding and from going through this process and checking in, my data personally, as we looked at the end, was quite substantial, which was really interesting to me. And I found for myself, beyond what could be measured with a computer, utilizing it and really finding my own life kind of coming into a pace. I was even telling you recently that I find even today, the more I chant, the better my week's going, the better I'm feeling, the better things are kind of rolling. And when I'm not chanting as much, you feel it. So it's been a really great impact, and I still carry my mala beads with me in the car every day.
Wow.
And I use them all the time.
So what was your experience like?
Before I've practiced meditation in the respects of sitting in silence or cross-legged for extended periods of time, trying to clear your head. Obviously, this is a different idea with that, and I didn't attach as much to that, but I was looking and trying to learn more and was open-minded. And, frankly, when I first started doing the chanting, I was like, I'm not sure if this is going to be for me. And funny enough, here at the end, it's definitely for me. So my experience was really overwhelmingly positive, a lot higher than I expected. I mean, I went in with open mind and hoped that it would work, but I had my doubts in that first week, and I don't have my doubts.
Wow. Hey, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Brian.